All right, guys, we are 3 days away from Money in the Bank 2025. And in this video, I'm going to walk through my predictions for both women and men and tell you exactly why each person, in my opinion, isn't going to win and why the two that I choose are going to win. Obviously, I don't have the exact answer. I don't know if my answer is going to be correct, but these are just my predictions. So if you agree, comment down below. If you don't agree, comment down below. I'd love to hear what you think. Um, but let's go ahead and jump straight into it. So for the women for Money in the Bank 2025, we have Alexa Bliss, we have Roxanne Perez, we have Julia, we have Rhea Ripley, we have Naomi, and we have Stephanie Valkyr, which, in my opinion, this is a great selection for Money in the Bank 2025. I think that they all kind of gel together in their own weird way. I think that there is obviously some women that are way over, don't really need this Money in the Bank. And I think there's some women that are way under that absolutely need this Money in the Bank. And I'm going to walk through all of that right now. So first off, let's jump into Alexa Bliss. In my opinion, I think there's a 70% chance of Alexa Bliss walking into that match and actually winning the briefcase. I think that she could definitely win it. I think that someone she's very unpredictable. Obviously, we saw a promo with her last week with Naomi, her, and Tiffany backstage. I don't think they're using her enough, however, which could be because she's going to win the Money in the Bank. At the same time, every time that she is on the camera, there's a huge pop and people go absolutely nuts. And so she's already over to an extent. However, I can't imagine her coming back at Royal Rumble, getting eliminated in Elimination Chamber, and then now she's here, and this is the chance that she gets without her fighting again. Really, I mean, I think she fought maybe a few times, but like, there's no real story going on with her other than she just wants the title, and so I can't see this being the beginning of a story, and so for that reason, she's not the person I think is going to win the Money in the Bank. Next up, we got Roxanne Perez. I think there is zero chance of Roxanne Perez actually winning the Money in the Bank on Saturday night. I think that she's in this because I think that in order to boost the engagement for Judgment Day and for the rivalry that she's going into with Liv and Raquel, I think that they need Roxanne to be on a certain level, which at the moment she's just not there yet. The crowd, when they see her, they're very indifferent. There is no booing, there's no cheering. They kind of just don't react when she's out there. I think that they're going to use this match to involve Roxanne with a bigger pool of people that can really lift her up and get the crowd interacting with her. And so, for that reason, I think that she's just there to show off her skill set, show off why she's in the WWE, and this is her moment to say, "Hey, look at me. I'm actually good at this." And for that reason, I think that's the only reason she's in Money in the Bank, and so I don't see her winning it by any means. Next up, we got Rhea Ripley, and Rhea Ripley is my favorite out of all men and women superstars. She's probably number two right now in WWE. I got Roman Reigns at one and Rhea Ripley at two, simply because Rhea Ripley is the fan favorite. Everyone loves Rhea Ripley. There's no one who hates Rhea Ripley, and both men and women watch when she fights. Just like Roman Reigns, I think that she's at a point right now where she could dominate everybody. The thing is that going to make people watch more or less? No. The thing with Rhea Ripley is that if she has a title, people watch. If she doesn't have the title, people watch. And because of that, I hate to say it, I don't think that she's going to win. I think there's also a 50% chance of her taking it. However, I don't think that they're going to give it to her because it doesn't really move the needle with or without her. The champion has to move the needle. She's it's almost like she's too over. Like if she has the Roman Reigns effect. If Roman Reigns came out on Saturday, people are gonna lose their minds. If he wins the title, people are gonna lose their minds. If he goes out there and just says acknowledge me, people are gonna lose their minds. And because they know that, it can't really go any higher. Like they're already at the ceiling. And it doesn't, again, it doesn't really add people into watching WWE, where if she's fighting someone else, that person can get brought up. And so, as much as I hate to say it, I don't think Rhea Ripley's going to win it, but she would be my favorite to win it if so. Um, then there's Julia. Julia kind of fits in the same boat as Roxanne Perez for me. I don't think that she's going to win. I think there's like I'd say a 30% chance of her actually taking it, simply because I just don't think that she's ready for the world title. I don't think she's ready to be on that scene. I understand that, she's a great in-ring performer, just like Io Sky. However, I was wrong about Io Sky too. I thought Io Sky wouldn't have the title this long. I'm honestly surprised she has the title this long, just simply because there's no promos being done. She's not moving the needle with the title. I think that the same would happen to Julia, and to put both world titles, or the world title and the undisputed title, in hands of people that are great in ring, but they don't really do good promos. They don't really add engagement. I don't think that would be smart on a business move. However, I'm not really agreeing with the last that the TKO is doing right now. So um, that could be who they give it to. I just don't think that's a good idea. And so for that reason, like I said, I got about a 20 to 30% chance of Julia actually taking it. Next up, we have Stephanie Valkyr, which, like Alexa Bliss, this one is an unpredictable, but she could actually take it. She could actually win the Money in the Bank, uh, simply because of everything that she's done so far. Everything that she's done, I've been like, "There's no way," and then she freaking wins it. And it's like, I don't know why the push is so hard for Stephanie, but the push is hard. People are pushing her and they're running with it. I mean, I kind of feel the same way about her as I feel about Julia and Io Sky. Like the promos aren't there, the talking back and forth with her rivalries isn't really there. Like I don't see her um, taking it to another level. I do know that people like her in ring performances, but uh, that's about it. I don't really see her building any crazy storylines uh, coming out of this. But at the same time, I would say I would put it at about an 80% chance of her actually taking it and winning it, simply because of the push that TKO is giving her right now. She had both titles at NXT. She has come up multiple times to fight with Io Sky. So people already know that that's something that they want to see as well. So if she did win, we know that's where she's going to go. Um, and then I think that Rhea would take it from her, and so that could turn into a possible story. So Stephanie wins, she goes take the belt from Io, and then it's Rhea versus Stephanie. Definitely possible, and that's why I have her so high on this list. The TKO push, and then the potential rivalry with Rhea and Stephanie in the future. But last but not least, the person that I actually think is going to win it is Naomi. I think Naomi's going to win it for a few reasons. Actually, I think one, because regardless of what she does in the ring, she's not the best in ring performer in this match by any means. She's great in ring. However, she's not the best in ring in this match. There's a lot of great in ring fighters in this match. She's the best at keeping people engaged in a story, though. She is the best at creating a story out of thin air, like she did last year with her and Jade. That story ran through, I mean, all the way until now. It was a year ago. She injured Jade for 6 months, became the tag champion. In the background, we were trying to figure out who solved this this murder mystery, basically, um, or who did this murder, and we're trying to solve a murder mystery the whole time. And it ends up being her, and then she goes full psycho mode for the last, what, 4 to 5 months. She's full kayfabe. She's fully, like, engaged in her character, and she's the most creative out of the entire bunch. And so, for that reason, I think that Naomi's going to win it. I also think that with the Money in the Bank gives Naomi a different power that we've just never seen with the Money in the Bank briefcase. I think that she can do so much with the briefcase that we've just never seen done. And I think that she can take that, go to Tiffany, and literally turn that title into something we've just never seen. I don't think that Stephanie needs the title to fight Io. I don't think that Rhea needs the Money in the Bank briefcase to fight uh, Io or Stephanie. I think that the story there is already there, and they can just kind of go back and continue it. Where with Naomi, I think that the engagement in Money in the Bank would increase dramatically with Naomi as the winner. And so, for women, that's my predictions. Let's go ahead and jump into the men. For men, we got Solo Sikoa, LA Knight, Penta, Seth Rollins, Andrade, and El Grande Americano. And just like the women, I think that this is a good group that gels together in a sense. Like you can see what they were thinking a little bit. There's some people in here I'm like, could have been someone else, but let's jump into that. So first off, we got Solo Sikoa. Um, Solo Sikoa, just like um, I'd say just like Julia, I don't see him winning it. Not because he's not great, but simply because I think that he's way too involved in way too much other stuff. I think that this rivalry with him and Jacob is way too fresh and getting way too much attention for them to pluck Solo from that and throw him into John Cena and Jey Uso and all that stuff. I just don't think that it lines up well, and for that reason alone, I don't think that he's the person. And if he won, where does he go? So imagine if Roman Reigns came back, like the best match that he could have is with Roman, and Roman they already had that fight, so it's just like it doesn't make sense for him to win it. I think that he's just there because I think that they will continue the story with Jacob and uh, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed and Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso. I think somehow those five guys are gonna come out into this match and affect this match in a way that's gonna cause the person to win that I'm thinking is gonna actually win. So LA Knight is number two. I would put LA Knight in the same boat that I put Roxanne Perez. I know that hurts, but I think that he's in this match to make people remember that he's a wrestler. I think that he's in this match because people are just kind of getting indifferent about him too. Like he's there, but he's not really doing anything different. He's the same old, yeah. And then he does this little talk, which is virtually just a knockoff Stone Cold and The Rock put together combined. It's like there's nothing original about his gimmick, and so I think that for that reason, LA Knight is not gonna win. I think that LA Knight could have been replaced with someone else, and we would have enjoyed the match just as much. If LA Knight was Drew McIntyre, perfect. Like it's just I'd almost prefer Drew McIntyre over LA Knight, and so well I would, but I don't know if you would. And so for that reason, LA Knight's not gonna win it. Penta, next up on the list, I would put Penta in the same category that I put Alexa Bliss. I think that he's definitely over. I think that he's great in ring, um, and he's one of those unpredictable characters that definitely could take it. Definitely could take it, and definitely could add something new to that world champion, undisputed champion level. Especially with this push that we have with the luchadors. I mean, he could be huge right now, and he could, be huge for that platform and that company. And he could go back and forth between World Collide and WWE, and he could really build up that brand if that's what they're trying to do. So I think that Penta could win it, and honestly, I would say about a 70% chance of him actually taking it. However, because of his promo skills, because of the story that he's kind of already created with Dom, and they've kind of put him at that mid card level already. I don't see him just jumping up without facing Dom and like really going at that Intercontinental title first. And so for that reason, I don't think Penta's going to win it. Andrade is also like Julia and Roxanne Perez. In my opinion, I don't think that he's in this match because he's going to win it. I think that he's in this match because he's also on that indifferent level where people are starting to forget about him and they want people to bring him back up because they want to use him in the future. Or it's kind of like this. I kind of see Money in the Bank as like a tryout. Like these are people that could potentially get more TV time if they do well, but could get less TV time if they do bad. And Andrade is someone who's great in ring. There's not really a story attached to him right now, but he could make this match bigger and make people see him by performing well and doing things that we want to see in a ladder match. I think it's someone that throws people off. However, I think that Andrade could be replaced with Karrion Kross. I think that he could be replaced with Damian Priest. I think that he could be replaced with so many different other superstars. A Dragon Lee, like a Ray Phoenix. There's so many people that I think could be replaced with him, but they chose him, and so we got to deal with it. But I give it a 10% chance of him actually winning. Next up on this list is El Grande Americano, and El Grande is an unpredictable one as well. I'd say about a 60 to 70% chance of actually taking it. The thing is, I also like Solo. I think that he has a lot going on as well. And I don't think that right now would be the perfect time to give him a title shot. I don't think that I don't think it's there yet. I think that they'll use him more for World Collide the same way that they'll use Penta. And I also think that this match will really escalate the rivalry and the story between Penta and El Grande. And I'm also hoping that they reveal that El Grande is actually indeed not Chad Gable. I'm kidding. I hope that they, unmask him and we get to see that it is Chad Gable or that is not Chad Gable. It'd be cool if he's not Chad Gable, but I'm pretty sure it is. I think that that's the reason he's there. I think it's going to be a luchador style fight with him and Penta. Um, and I think that El Grande can just like add some flair to the match that wouldn't be there otherwise. And a lot of people are paying attention to El Grande right now. And so this also allows him to showcase what he's going to do at World Collide as well. Unless World Collide is beforehand, but I don't know. I don't know how he's going to be at both, but whatever. And then last but not least, we got the good old Seth Rollins, who's my pick for winning. Not because he's the best in this fight, but simply because there's a reason for him to win it. And that reason is bigger than anybody else's reason for winning it. One, because it continues the story of him with this faction. Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker are both going to interfere tonight or that night, and they're going to come out and do what they do. And I think that they're going to cause him to win. Now, what that's going to do is something bigger at the next level. Is I think that he's going to cash in same night. I think that somehow, some way, in the middle of the tag team match, after they win, I think John Cena is going to do something that makes Jey Uso fall or get knocked out or something. And I think that Seth will cash in and pin Jey Uso because of John Cena. Somehow that's going to happen. I don't know how. That's just my thought. And I think what that's going to do is give Seth Rollins the title and validate his faction and everything he's trying to do. And we'll see more of that on Monday night. And I also think that by Jey Uso getting pinned because of John Cena will cause the next rivalry between John Cena and Jey Uso from Jey making John Cena lose Royal Rumble. I think that that'll be the fight for SummerSlam. I think that at SummerSlam we get Jey Uso versus John Cena. Now, what does that mean for Logan Paul? What does that mean for Cody Rhodes? I don't know. I don't know. I don't see either one of those guys fighting um, John at SummerSlam. It could be again. It could be someone else, but that's just what I think. I think that somehow, some way, Seth wins, Seth cashes in, Jey loses. We get Jey versus John coming out of here. I don't know how they're gonna put that together, how they're gonna do it. There's so many different pieces to this puzzle. Because again, don't forget you got CM Punk, Sami Zayn, you got Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, you got Roman that could pop up, you got The Rock who could pop up. There's so many things that could happen. So I'm not saying this is the end all be all, and I'm not saying that like this is just my predictions. I don't know how this is gonna happen. I'm not saying it's gonna happen exactly the way I'm saying it's gonna happen, but I think that somehow, some way, Seth wins, Seth cashes in, Jay loses, we get Jay and John coming out of here. And so for that reason, I got Seth Rollins and I got Naomi winning the men and women's Money in the Bank briefcases on Saturday night. And so if you agree, comment down below. I'd love to hear what you think. I could be completely off and you could say something that I'm not even noticing. If you do agree with me, let me know below. I'd love to chat with you and just, see why you agree. And so yeah, so this is like I said, this is my second time filming this, and hopefully there's sound to this one. So catch you guys on the next one. Peace.